Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
Finally find a way to get ahead, and this happens. Swear, I almost had it this time. Everything all lined up. Easy mark, guaranteed moneymaker, favorable terms. Practically the recipe for success. Look like you've had your share of troubles. Ever had the perfect opportunity just slip through your fingers? So you can understand my situation then. I had just the thing to get me a fast-track promotion to lower middle management. Now you seem like someone who knows a good deal and wouldn't be adverse to helping me out. It's like this. I agreed to meet with a business associate to finalize a deal, but the location got set for Spire Grove. Problem is, you been outside of Fairfield? Well, the funicular to Spire Grove broke recently, so I got no way to get up there. I'd break my neck scaling that cliff for sure. There's a long way around, but it's not for me. Why, the path there might be lousy with raptidons for all I know. It wasn't before, but mayhap they were just lulling me into a false sense of complacency so they can strike. While exploring facilities to the north, my partner unearthed a heretofore unexploited advanced protectorate technology. Couldn't or wouldn't go into details, but he promised every household would want one, that it'd revolutionize the daily life of Auntie's Choice citizens. I lay my hands on something like that, turn it over to management. I'd start climbing the rungs of the corporate ladder right quick. Soon, I'd have all the considerable perks of someone responsible for a hit new product line. Bigger salary, name recognition, reserved seating in the company restroom, the works. Opportunistically leveraging difficult predicaments. That's the Auntie's Choice way. I have a few bits I can offer you. Not much, but if it turns out a roaring success like it ought to, and I get a fat promotion, I promise I'll see you're taken care of later. Splendid. Go parlay with Jackson Plum up at Spire Grove. It's some kind of agricultural harvesting encampment southwest of here, near a mess of them rocky spires. He'll provide the agreed-upon schematics. The broke-down funicular is due west of here. Dexterous-looking so-and-so like yourself could probably scarper up it in a jiffy. From there, it's just up the hill a smidge. So close, but so far away. At least for me, anyhow. Truth is, haven't the slightest. You know the Protectorate have all the most advanced technology, though. Probably something straight out of an Aetherwave serial. Edible spacesuits, N-ray specs, matter translocation. It could be anything. If Jackson's all fired up about it, it'll be beyond comprehension, I'm sure. All right, then. Don't let me keep you.
I see a huge opportunity for us in Fairfield. There's zero competition and plenty to drive people to drink. Welcome to the name-pending saloon, purveyor of spirits and stimuli. What'll it be, stranger? That is an ensuing step on my 19-point business plan. trying to find a name that would convince patrons to spend their hard-earned bits here. Like to hear a few contenders? At present, my top favorites are 1. The Drunken Haggler, 2. Accessories, 3. Absinthe-Minded, 4. The Fair Shake. Now tell me, which would make you spend your hard-earned bits here? Well, that's what we'll call it then. I'll tell future business partners we did extensive outside testing. I can now check off step 18 of my business plan. Shh, not so loud. Look, operating a new location sure ain't easy. Swear I get blamed for anything going wrong, whether it's my fault or some foul up from the local head office. But the nice thing about Fairfield, if you sound like you got some know-how, people believe just about any bit of hooey or bunkum you declare. Why, sure. You'd be surprised how much loose talk and idle speculation occurs around here. What, between them protectorate defectors, finally able to speak their minds, and all our off-duty Antes employees carping about work and the war. Any particular topic you have in mind? Oh, Minister Milford Street's blessed with the gift of gab. Swear he could sell bypass shunts to a raptidon. Ain't one of them falsely magniloquent types, though. Sincere fella. Shares command of Fairfield with Acquisitions Officer Carr. She's blunt and murderous. 2 traits Auntie's Choice highly prizes in a commander of corporate forces. To say they have differing approaches to leadership is like saying, gee, suns are hot, whilst being incinerated in a solar eruption. Vox Station's run by a brigadier by the name of Montelli. Sounds like he's as much a danger to his own troops as ours. Real piece of work, even by Protectorate standards. Reportedly enamored of show trials and summary executions. Tell you one thing you can't avoid, the bridge. No other way around it, and at present, it's held by Protectorate forces. We have a small contingent of troops bivouacked nearby. Forward Operating Base, they call it. You're asking me for the particulars of a high-level corporate acquisition. Like an in-depth accounting of the various parties who vied for control and who won out in the end? They merged. Rebranded. Auntie Cleo seems in charge now. Dunno. Do my best to steer clear of corporate intrigue. My pleasure. Got anything for me in return? Apologies, but tall tales and poorly formed fabrications failed to impress me much. Here I was hoping you'd have a good story for me in exchange, but oh well. Not everyone's a seasoned raconteur. All right. Appreciate you dropping by.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here? It has nothing to do with my current and very temporary shortage of funds.
Don't mean to sound unsociable, but you might not want to stand so close. The bleeding ain't contagious, but it ain't slowed much neither. I hate to bleed all over you. Wouldn't mind conversating a bit, though. Anything to take my mind off the pain. Oh, it stings.
This unit is not permitted to operate within corporate-owned medical facilities without said corporation's consent. Non-legally binding reassurances, however, may be offered.
Reassurances, you say? Like what?
Deploying reassurance. Do not worry. You will be fine.
I guess that's something. Look at me, drawing comfort from a drone after being attacked by one. Funny world, ain't it? I was on sentry duty, bravely surveying our perimeter for threats, when a Protectorate drone attacked out of nowhere. Third time in as many days. I returned fire like it was a cereal. Bang, bang, bang! Pew, pew, pew! Oh, not excessively, of course. Don't want Auntie taking that extra ammunition out of my paycheck. Again, it was all going fine until the damn thing blasts me while I'm reloading. Mighty uncourteous, you ask me. Trooper Faulkner happened upon the scene just then and dispatched the drone before it could finish me off. No idea where these drones are coming from, but Faulkner's been having a time of it lately. Be nice if someone helped out, but Carr's hands are tied. Lack of resources, I guess? As for the rest of these fine folk, they were attacked by Protectorate while defending the forward operating base. Imagine the base is probably hurting for warm bodies just now. Only one of the most lucrative posts a soldier could be assigned to. Hazard pay through the roof. The FOB's our main line of defense. The only thing stopping the Protectorate from sending their legions over that bridge of theirs and attacking us here in Fairfield. The man in charge, Commander Torres, is a legend. Rumor has it his troopers are relentless, fighting through wounds that would kill most. What I wouldn't give to join his outfit. Playing it safe doesn't amount to much, but maybe you're right. Probably just muck things up at the FOB too. Damn it. I gotta find some way to beat these low-runger allegations. It's all a moot point till I can get this arm of mine mended. Poor Doc Barnes is working himself to the bone trying to take care of us, but he's only one man. I suppose it could be worse. At least Command's not throwing us at that relay station. Can't imagine the casualties he'd be dealing with then, given all its defenses. I don't know. You some kind of doctor type? Well, all right then. Just hope you're not squeamish. What happened to him? Aw, now why'd you have to go and tell me a thing like that? Auntie sweet mercies. Unless you got something kind and encouraging to contribute to this conversation, better if we leave it at that. Please leave.
No time to conversate.
I must ask you to hold still.
My liver ain't the lily kind. Tell it to me straight, Doc.
The bullet shattered your tibia and all but demolished your gastrocnemius muscle. Due to the risk of infection, I have to abscise your leg. There is good news, however. I recently enrolled in a course on advanced amputation techniques, so I'll be seeing a positive return on my investment sooner than expected. Don't be obscene. I have on hand a perfectly adequate tranquilizer to manage any flailing.
Say, how sore are my pockets gonna be after all this, Doc? Don't suppose there's a discount for only taking a portion of the leg?
I'm not running a charity. If you desire full treatment, you'll pay full cost. If that's a problem, seek compensation from your commanding officer. While you're in my office, I'd ask that you do not discourage my patients from acquiring the necessary funds to save their lives. Thank you.
This is a mighty big decision, Doc. Can I have a moment to noodle on it?
I don't encourage delays, but very well. It'll take a few minutes for me to warm up the saw anyway. Short of you skipping back in time and ordering the coagulant I need, I doubt anything can be done to accelerate the timetable for treating these soldiers. I am a doctor, not a magician. I cannot manufacture coagulant from the aether, neither do I possess the special training to improvise with what supplies I have on hand. Now, was there anything else?
How do you eat Purple Berry Crunch? Real warriors eat it right from the box.
Might I have a word, Commander? I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island, the doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked him to Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit. Brief one, of course. Not sure he'd still consider me such, but that's part and parcel of the reason I want to see him. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here, being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Resistance is a mite strong. Wasn't like he was part of some greater movement. He avoided speaking out of line, but he was already spinning up discontent by the time we met. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Guess some of what you said way back when stuck. Oh, that talk about putting people first. Figured that's what I was doing, putting a stop to all the pain I was causing. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. If it weren't for Zeb, I'd be in the ground. It's a debt I never properly repaid. Plus, I don't relish his last memory of me being a vanishing act. I owe him better. And since finding you, well, a lot feels possible now that didn't before. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there.
Agent Ibarra, you failed to take your daily supplements 3 days in a row. Vitamins are a vital tool in aiding wound healing and achieving your long-term health goals.
We've talked about this, Val. Ain't polite airing folks' private health information in front of others.
If oral capsules are not your preferred delivery method, suppositories may be a viable alternative.
All right. I'll take the damn supplements. The normal ones. And maybe I'll examine your courtesy settings while I'm at it.
Nothing there. I'm back. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Seems no one paradise touched by this one. I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day.
It's not. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. If the occasion calls for it. But I fancy myself something of a biologist. Or, at least I used to. Me and raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? You're in the middle of a war zone, friend. Anyone who ain't asking questions is instead asking for a bullet in the back. I'm Inez Silang, Auntie's choice, former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milver Street of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. When there's paperwork, there's enemy secrets. And dropping raptidons on the place is a quick way to stop any personnel keen on destroying those secrets before we find them. It's a kinder fate than if they survived. Allowing us to walk off with this intel would surely land any survivor in front of the firing squad. Or sentimental refreshment. This place is an archive of Protectorate censorship. If it's been sanitized, censored, or rewritten out of the Protectorate's history, the Ministry's where you'll find it. And apparently there's some highly sensitive intel about mental refreshment hereabouts. The Minister sent me here to find it. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. If the graft were an imaginary boo-boo, I wouldn't be in this mess, friend. It's paperwork that's the problem. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. But I started from nothing before. I could do it again. Maybe. Ain't easy moving between companies. And I wasn't always with Auntie's choice. But that's a story for another time. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the raps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Confront your threat. Neutralizing unfriendlies.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Status susceptible to danger. Sequencing attack strategies. Status. Susceptible to engage in hostile activities.
Missiles are leaking outside, Commander. Great. First they're on the walls, now the ceiling.
secret.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Can't believe some of those protectorate hull heads just couldn't see the benefit of self-betterment.
Yeah, let them simmer in their cells first, Let's eat fun.
whole capitalism thing isn't so dreadful after all.
Hello. You must be a new, co-worker. No. My mistake. You're obviously just passing through.
Here to do some fishing?
Consider finding a human companion. You seek conversation.
Hello. You must be a new, co-worker. No. My mistake. You're obviously just passing through.
Best keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Hostile wildlife. Familial classification of...
Three hole in the head. I swear that wasn't planned.
Feels good to be back in the saddle, don't it, Val? Kind of reminds me of our days in Nix's orbit, dodging protectorate patrols. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
Ah, well. That's all right, Val. I'll just have to do the remembering for both of us.
closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. I thought everyone, even the corporate invaders, had heard about the grand plan. It is the blueprint that generates reality. And the Order of the Ascendant, whose chapel this used to be, is slavishly devoted to figuring out the universal equation that underlies it. They are driven by algorithms, maths, predictions of the future. They believe they will eventually know everything, rid humanity of uncertainty.
Just warmed over Order of Scientific Inquiry beliefs, Commander.
Never heard of them. If you really care, I'm certain there's some literature around here you can read. But don't let the Protectorate catch you, lest you'd like your gray matter chemically processed. I have my reasons. I don't know you. Do you have some reason for being here? DeVries. Sorry, I don't know anyone by that name.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charging for information.
Always been curious about the kind of training that'll produce an arbiter. Can't imagine it's pleasant. You hear that? Sounds like a dragoon tromping about. I don't fancy making its acquaintance.
Warning. Turret sentries ahead. Stealth advised.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472. 472 means they're gonna fill anything that moves full of holes.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang Crobbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck here on standby wages.
Make yours the routine inhalement of Security Got 'em cigarettes. Their smooth draw and sedating aftertaste sends
Scout report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if command has temporarily put the actual fighting to
What's up next? Here's one you're absolutely sure to enjoy. A Protectorate prescribed favorite.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! Hello there. You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our auto-mechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Auntie's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand? Unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for Auntie's, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Regrettably, subjects of Westport no longer have access to the repair center, hence my need to scavenge. Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect these were all in various states of disrepair even before Auntie's offensive, which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Where are their bodies? These were stalwart defenders of the Protectorate we're talking about here. Not the spineless stumblewits that comprise the forces of Auntie's choice. No. Some other unfortunate fate has befallen them. Could have been any manner of terror brought upon us by Auntie's. Likewise. And please inform me if you happen upon any usable parts. There must be at least a few usable parts in here. Aha! It's warped. It's like everything else.
these anti-soldiers seem twitchy to you? Might want to sneak our way in.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity. Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our control.
Engaging combat protocols.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Your lot couldn't hit the bomb side of a frame. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Promoting teammate health.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
This looks like the place. Oh, I haven't felt this high strung since Horizon Point. Just hope he's here.
Niles. Howdy, Zeb. You look...
Well,
Has my mind been set upon by shadows? I thought you dead.
can't imagine why you think that. I've only been gone 4 years.
Oh, back from your little saunter then, are you? Head all cleared? I must say, you took quite the perambulation. I hope you didn't wear out your rotation adapters.
Zeb, this is the commander I told you about. One in charge of the Horizon Point mission.
So, you are keeping company these days. Just not mine. That would depend on what vision you have for Arcadia's future. Everyone seems to think they alone know what's best for this colony.
Look, I'm not just here to gas you up with empty apologies. I want to set things right between us.
Oh, now you want to help. Where were you when the war happened? Or when I was being carted off to mental refreshment? Where were you when I actually needed you?
I know I let you down before, but give me a chance to earn back your trust. There must be something I can lend you a hand with. I know you haven't given up the fight.
I haven't the time to patch your bleeding conscience, Niles. I'm in a situation that demands my full attention.
It's Baines. My team's been caught. Pharaoh and March are dead. Protectorate are holding the rest for interrogation. A ship is inbound to take us off-world, to the consul himself. I barely managed to evade capture. Damn it! It looks like the data went through, but there's something wrong with the connection. The cipher isn't transmitting.
Found her! You there! Step away from that terminal at once!
Audra! Fuck! It's all coming apart.
I knew something was wrong. What have you gotten yourself into here, Zeb?
That was one of my operatives. I organized a mission to infiltrate the Vox to acquire valuable intelligence. But obviously, something's gone wrong. Without that cipher, the intelligence is worthless. But I'm more concerned about my people at the moment. If you're sincere in your desire to help, prove it. Rescue my friends before that ship departs with them on board. Please.
I am. Without question.
Okay. If they're sending a ship, That means my people are being held on the Vox's landing pad. Use my call sign so they'll know you for an ally. I'm certain Niles remembers it. And do exercise discretion, as well as caution. The guards at the Vox won't hesitate to fire upon you, should you be discovered.
Not to worry. This is exactly the sort of thing we're trained to handle.
Yes, but the uniform doesn't stop bullets, as I'm sure you recall.
Good thing we know a doctor then.
Then let's hope the ship also takes its time arriving, and that my friend's pain threshold withstands any attempts to soften them up for the console.
Emergency protocols ready. Commencing combat-related activities.
must be at least a few usable parts in here.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal...
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. You see, Woodrow, why at this rate, we'll have the facility up and running in little to no time.
That's what scares me, Marshal.
Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals. Though we may not last long if we fail to repair the xeranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype xeranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. What did I tell you, Woodrow? The situation's well in hand.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with xeranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshall sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Bits? Is that what this is about? Assist me in bringing the device to completion, and I should have enough material to fashion an additional prototype for you. I imagine a protective field that screens all manner of environmental hazards, not to mention bullets, blades, and other injurious miscellanea, might be of use in one's travels. But if you're unmoved or apathetic for some witless, unsensical reason, I'm sure I can find a way to make it all work eventually. Suppose I shouldn't expect every average wayfarer to appreciate the extent of what I'm offering. But fine, I'll provide additional monetary incentive if such is what you require. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You would imagine so, wouldn't you? Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to geld his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Brigadier Montelli does not accept excuses, and he does not tolerate failure. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? 1 catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Oh, of course, our little agreement. How could I forget? Your payment as promised. I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but I didn't think you'd last long enough to collect it, which is the only reason I agreed to such a thing naturally.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Whether or not you're able to help us, I'm grateful to have an extra set of eyes on the problem. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as surely as any subject of the Protectorate would. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to purge the Zeranium. And be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Why in law's name would you want to know that? Good thinking. I suppose if some computational greenhorn left even one of the intake conduits open and shut down the Zeranium flow, that'd be a disaster. Good thing we don't make rookie mistakes in my unit. Any further questions? Don't worry about Woodrow. Smart fellow, but his cautious nature gets in the way. Yes, there is some risk that exposure to Zeranium will corrupt our automechs, to use his colorful language. That shouldn't stop us from delivering them on time. I'm sure they'll be scrubbed clean once they arrive at the Vox relay. But that isn't our problem to solve. You be sure and come back once you've made progress on the leak.
Rounds cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
Sequencing attack strategies.
All rightly appreciate our perfect life of contentment and plenty.
Done. The uranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. The damage must have been more advanced than we thought. I knew I should have pushed the repairs earlier. Sure, a few may have died, but the mission might still have been salvaged. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting my own resources, and now the price is paid. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble servitude. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies. Its resources stripped bare, leaving nothing of the beauty we've cultivated over long years. As our stewardship is cast aside like so much detritus, harmony will be lost, and chaos will reign. Praise will give way to slogans, duty to greed, honor to contractual obligation. Freaks, and worse, will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial and petty ambitions.
it's an orifice or a face, Auntie's choice makes a cream for it.
Ah, hell. I've stood this post so many times I could do it in my sleep.
Mind you don't let the bosses upstairs hear you say that. You might start getting ideas in my head.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind. Well, maybe I am drunk. Drunk on a bold idea.
Been working at that spot of business we discussed. Easier to lead with fewer targets nibbling at your psyche. Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Just that Milver Street requested her presence for some mission. Normally I'd demand to be paid, but I was just glad to get her some work. Trooper Sealong was one of my best enhanced soldiers, but never took to her grafts. Been uncertain what I could rely on her for. So Milver Street holds her contract. At least for now. Trooper Sealong ain't a fragile wallflower. She's a soldier. And even at reduced efficacy, she's worth 15 of any grunt picked at random. She's got a contract. And she ain't so far gone we can't make use of her. But the fact is, her grafts are holding her back, and it's only getting worse. Don't let it bother you. Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting through it. There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. Wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwurst. Give me the no-frills, disposable quality of Auntie's choice any day. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, I'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.
Minister, I'm telling you I can do more. I've been proving myself to you time and again, haven't I? All I'm asking is a mite of trust. Let me fix my arm, and I'll...
Calm down. You know the risks you enhanced troopers present. My utilizing you at all was a kindness on your behalf.
I'll calm down when you stop braying your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. You scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies,
Ain't so sure you want to work for this imbecile, friend. There's more menial jobs where that came from.
Do try to understand my perspective. You were so lethargic returning, I had you pre-marked as a casualty. Do you know how many forms I've had to fill out on your behalf?
Now hold on. I went into enemy territory crawling with dangerous creatures for you alone to get some dusty report. And you got the audacity to complain about paperwork? If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now. That's surely the most tempting offer I've heard all day.
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death the preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
What? I have done nothing to deserve such barbaric treatment. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. If you're serious about that job offer, come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision. Most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Troopers abandoning their contracts, blackguards like you running rampant. What is becoming of this island? I fear I may never know.
All done in there? Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. I'd like to take you up on your offer, if you're good for it. You're going places. Could be I'm keen on heading that direction myself. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with Grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mind the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you.
Welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Of course. Though I must also apologize for my inappropriate courtesy a moment ago. You're here for delectable discountables, not my pointless observations. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? Sure thing. Exit encouragement. Hold on, that's not right. Just a moment, I'll remember. When you want better than the best, think More Perfect Goods. Say, I think I'm getting a handle on this. Top rungers, here I come.
pulverizing them suffice? No, I could liquefy them, apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. Oh, Inez, you look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's Choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. That is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scaly friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more. Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with. Though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who, unfortunately, went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
The second candidate is a Raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
Not once you're inside the cave. There, all you'll find of the Protectorate is an unguarded drainage pipe coming from the Vox Relay. When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Law guide you both out there.
Keep them coming! I can do this all day! That's the 3rd drone in as many days. Where are the void damn things coming from? Protectorate drone attack. Just the one. We got it before anyone got hurt this time. Of course, we could have staunched the flow of drones by now if Officer Carr dispatched another patrol, as I requested, but no such luck. That was a nasty one. Drone downed him on the reload. I do hope he's on the mend now. Erickson's a fine fellow, if a rather poor shot. He told you about that? That blasted, well-meaning gas bag. Now I gotta ask him to strike my involvement from his report to Officer Carr. You see, I, wasn't exactly authorized to be shoring up other patrols on the perimeter. In fact, I might have been specifically ordered not to leave this spot. Thanks. Well, at least some people in this unit still understand the concept of discretion. And taking initiative. Trouble is, it's only a matter of time before these Protectorate drones break through and do some real damage to Fairfield. If you're keen on lending a hand, Bounty Terminal's just left of the constabulary. Carr doesn't trust me with that kind of work anymore. Not after my last performance review. So I guess we're trusting in degenerate bounty hunters now. You watch out for those airborne bastards. Damn things have a taste for human blood. Really wish I could give those drones a piece of my mind. Unfortunately, I need to hang back and exercise my obedience to authority. Go out there and do what I can. Show that bounty terminal and those Protectorate drones why no one fucks with Fairfield.
Let's skip the blow.
What's with all the landmines you corporatists have littered about? Pretty sloppy style of warfare, if you ask me.
Can't say I care for the mines either, but it's simple math. Mines don't need to sign a contract. Don't got bellies to feed. They cost a damn sight less than troops.
Suppose collateral damage don't mean much to Anti. Personally, I spy a mine, I'm unloading from 40 paces.
Or you can walk around them. But maybe that's just me. It's drilled into us not to waste ammo or ordnance. Go ahead and blast them if you want. I ain't stopping you.
No, Jackson, don't! Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly! Jackson, you're too young to be a crater in the dirt! Oh, law. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allow the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. Not nearly as upset as we are. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Exactly! Because he had no idea how science works and thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So when I told him to jump, he opted for open air instead of where I told him to go. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they could give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault.
What? It's your duty as a subject to...
No, Liza, remember, you're not Protectorate anymore. So, what have we talked about? A duties only.
Discharged if the disbursement is dutifully deserving. Right. Sorry, I'm just a little flummoxed by being stranded up here.
So, bits, stranger. We'll give you bits if you get us down before we starve.
Thank the Sovereign. Thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation.
Blood in the talent pool around here with these Protectorate defectors. Yeah, been gone a while. How'd it go? Tell me you got good news. Why, that's terrible. But you said you have the schematics? I'll take those. What? Sovereign's finest potato corollary peeler? This was supposed to be a guaranteed bestseller. Who in their right mind would... Jackson, you idiot! Ah! It's a good thing he's dead, because if he wasn't, I'd kill him! There's no... God damn it! I'm never getting that promotion. This was supposed to be my easy path to a promotion. Must be something I can do to salvage this. Tell me, did you come across any other advanced Protectorate technology while you were there? Anything more, well, easily marketable? Personal thrusters? No one would ever want such preposterous things. I'd be laughed out of recreant reclamation. Imagine, jumping about like a sprog. Ridiculous. Well, here's all I can spare in regards to your compensation. Try not to spend it all in one place. It's supposed to be categorically bad for commerce. In the unlikely event things somehow pan out and I get that big promotion, I'll see you're taken care of. Until then, take care.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. I need a...
get the sense you ain't too fond of Auntie's choice. Any reason why?
Maybe on account of them being a giant, malignant corporate entity. Reminds me of the one I grew up under. And that ain't a compliment.
I grew up under a corporation like Auntie's too, Miles. You ain't the only one with a sob story.
Then you might ought to know better than to throw in with Annie's. They're just like those bit-pinching bastards on Triangle. If the Earth Directorate hadn't stepped in.
Well, there you have it. The Earth Directorate saved you, huh? Sure as shit didn't save us.
No, suppose not. But you've got choices now. Time for excuses is past.
Don't you look down your nose at me. Any sane folk would throw their lot in with the ones who helped them. Not those who deliberately look the other way. How's your own loyalty to the Earth Directorate treated you all this time? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Rotambulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be
Hit what in the where now? Can't just shoot in the thin air.
That's it? It was that easy?
Our heavy mail order division
Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
What do you mean? You're already getting our urgently improvised extortive rate. Oh, that. Of course that's why you deserve extra. Apologies for forgetting. I was overcome with relief. Here's what I would have paid already, with a little extra on top.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. It's not a totally baseless idea. that should totally be annihilated, just like all capitalist propaganda. Praise the matriarch!
Again, I look for this protectorate, idiot. Don't know why we bother. Sure shooting. He's gone. Nice coming out to spot folk who ain't here no more is easy work. Again, I look for this protectorate, idiot. Sure shooting. Just coming out the spot for a coin here.
Entertainment and the latest from the front lines. Sponsored by Auntie's Choice. Improving lives through unfettered free trade and unbridled self-betterment. This just in, a field report from the Office of Competitive Analysis and Artful Reconnoitering. Ooh, this sounds important. Better pay heed. Threat assessors have adjusted their risk tables for the Arbiter Training Facility, jewel of the Protectorate's military portfolio, northeast of the landing pad near Broken Spire. Although only a skeleton crew remains, the facility's automechanical defenses remain operational and quite lethal. Approach at your own risk, and only if your supervisor can readily replace you upon your likely demise. Well, you heard it here. Best of luck to anyone hull-headed enough to poke around that place. Now, on to others.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Sandwich made from crab will make some mighty fine treat. Crabwich.
Huh. A Protectorate vestige. Guessing the cadre didn't make it then. Time to start poking around. We'll need all their armorial IDs to get in.
Captain, have we truly certified that all in our midst are suited for this mission? It would be most disheartening were any of us to bear reservations.
If you take issue with my presence, speak plainly. My loved one's deeds bear no influence on my own.
Your loved ones, Juan? Once a loved one of mine became a traitor, I would no longer refer to them thusly. Unless you still harbor feelings.
Enough! Your sniping discredits you both. Wardens must speak through action. Move out!
It's a pro!
Fix me up. I'd do it for you. That kid little pick me up for you.
Ready to waste them.
On your command.
Looks like we have a few hungry friends joining us. Keep your finger on the trigger. Medkit coming your way! Little pick-me-up for you.
Guns cocked and loaded. Let's get the six.
Medical pack, out! Hook me up! I do it for you!
Nice and handled, Commander. Lift should be here soon. Any minute now.
Nothing is ever simpler. Looking pretty scathed, Commander. Practicing some battlefield medicine. Finally. Anything else anyone wants to throw us while we're here? Hate to ask for help. But back in business.
This is one. I have suffered grievous wounds. At least one of my lungs meets the open air. LaRue fell swiftly. Screamed for me to help, but if I had remained to aid her, the mission would be at its end. The mission which is now doomed regardless. I arrived here to find the controls non-functional. Since my weapon delivers magnetically contained electric charges, I inserted it into a conduit, hoping it would spring to life, but the Fairfield power controls have deteriorated. I wish I could admit relief, that in my heart of hearts I wished my love to live, despite her traitorism. My darling, I am sorry. But were you here, I would use the last of my strength to slay you. Our feelings are not even a candle to the incandescent love of the sovereign.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
Sometimes I get the feeling we're not welcome here. Like the Protectorate folks resent us liberating them.
You ever find yourself with too much disposable income? Plenty of ideas on how to dispose of
it. Take care in the northern regions of the island. Fewer reports from scouts. Heightened degree of danger. Maybe that's something to look forward to. Loose your words. I'm listening. Good work. Sure, it'll aid your path into the Vox. Presuming you keep your nerve. Let me spin you a yarn. One of my elite regiments ceased replying to hails several weeks ago. Hardy bunch. Fought all across the system. Yesterday, the Protectorate launched the regiment commander's upper torso into one of our encampments, which makes 2 1/3 complete corpses of a 6-person unit. Mocking us. Calculating bastards, the Protectorate. Would admire their efficacy if it weren't taking so many of my best and brightest. Once the fighting reignites in full, they'll pay dearly. Ask a loaded question, get a loaded answer. You want diluted truths and empty charm? Milver Street's just around the corner. Pains me to admit such, but for all our losses, we've minimal gains to show. It's all these half measures. Milver Street saw things my way, Paradise Island would be ours by mess. Man doesn't seem to understand there's an order to things. Convert your enemies after the war ends, not before. Try too early, you got saboteurs, spies, and the unruly. It's a poor use of our resources, inefficient at best, actively detrimental to our work at worst. And if there's one thing I despise worse than our foes, it's the poor use of resources.